That wine tastes like duty.
Let's go to the stove.
Bad.
You wanna go to the stove?
No.
You look cute though.
Do I? Thank you. My hair is crazy though, babe.
It's recording.
Is that better?
Ripping the brands. That motherfucking camera clear.
I can't. There's like that dots over my eyes. I can't tell if I'm cute or not.
You look good. I don't even know how to fucking intro this shit. I ain't doing no traditional shit. I got baby girl here. About to do some interesting topics. I was browsing through YouTube, falling down a rabbit hole, and I saw.
Why are you talking with your mask on?
Because I'm repping the brand.
I feel like they can't hear you.
They can hear me. The mic right there. You can't hear me?
I mean, I'm sitting next to you.
Yeah, the mic right there. They can. You can hear it. They can hear it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we doing. I'm gonna take this bitch off.
See?
The topic is: are women better bosses? I was like, I'm gonna do a reaction to this shit and have her ass with me with her fucking.
But I feel like they need to know about me.
Yeah, she alpha as fuck, and she do boss things. She own her own shit, but she's objective at the same time. So I thought she would like to hear women discuss this. So we're gonna see.
Well, I already told you about the title.
Yes.
They're already generalizing because there may be some women bosses that are better.
It's case by case.
But women as a whole.
Just let them speak first and then you respond to it.
Alright, the title.
Alright, it's very triggering, huh? It elicits a response from you. Just on the title alone, and you're a woman. That's right, she mine, goddamn. Let's go. Let's go.
Now, speaking of getting paid, my girl Tiffany Haddish is currently promoting her new movie, I'm a Boss. Like a Boss. I saw it. Like a Boss. It's so good. So she's promoting Like a Boss, and she said that her number one boss is Oprah Winfrey. She said Oprah Winfrey is her number one boss, and she said she feels that women make better bosses because we're more... because they can handle their emotions better than men can. So, my question to you all is, do you agree with her?
I got something to say though. You ain't got nothing to say that yet?
I mean, I do, because women typically are more emotional than men, so...
That's kind of contradicting.
It is.
And why does emotion need to even be a thing in the workplace?
Well, it shouldn't be. I think in order to be objective, you want to suppress emotions. What she's saying is that women are better at that, which in the world that we live in, that's kind of contrary to what is true.
Yeah. So, all right, let's go.
Than men can. So, my question to you all is, do you agree with her assertion? And do you agree that ladies make better bosses?
Yeah, I agree. Yes, I
Do you think
absolutely
for the
agree.
same reasons?
Yeah, but women know how to multitask. First of all,
It's actually scientifically
They throwing
proven.
shade already, goddamn. That's just. I was more focused on what the fuck her reaction was, but they just taking shots at the fucking the male species, goddamn. No fuck.
But that's what their show is.
I ain't never seen it before.
No?
Nah.
It's pretty cool, but obviously that's a woman
It's like some women
panel.
empowerment type
Yeah,
shit.
exactly. So obviously.
They're not gonna say no objective shit. It's all
Right, but you already know how I feel. Even though I think some women and their qualities make for a better boss, but I don't like to generalize.
It should be case by case. Mm-hmm. Why does gender have to do anything with it? Or I won't even say gender. Why does sex have anything to do with it?
That's a whole different video.
I know, goddamn. But I'm still stuck on her fucking saying
Men can't multitask.
Even the first thing, the first thing, women are better at controlling their emotions. Like they're not. So, like I feel like this shit was fucked from the start. Like it's not accurate.
I mean, chemically, our hormones, if you just look at that, the biology,
I would think most women would agree that they're a lot more emotional than men. So if they're a lot more emotional, their emotions influence them more than it influences us.
What I believe a good boss and leader to be is someone that's a servant. So I think that's why being a woman, we're more nurturing. Mm-hmm. So I think as a leader that is a good quality.
It's hard
But-
to be, but I feel like you got to be assertive as hell too.
You have to be
And I
able to
feel
do
like,
both.
Yeah, I feel like you emotional as fuck. It's hard to be assertive. Like your emotions can wrapped in all that. I don't know. Whatever, man.
Asking them men. Fun
And I
fact.
think
Yes.
we have an incomparable gift of intuition, right? And then I feel like we naturally have this dance between warmth and strength.
Yes. Yes.
And also, I don't know, I just feel like women, we always go through hoops to get to the top. So once we're already there, we have that natural skill set because of all the hard work.
Yes.
And I think one thing that's majorly changed, back in the days, a boss used to be known as dominating, controlling, maybe even micromanaging, but we have redefined what a boss actually means.
Yeah.
Because of women, bosses are now intuitive, empathetic, open to feedback. Welcome to the year of the woman.
Why is that because of the woman?
That's her view on it. Women tend to be more empathetic,
Yeah, I know that.
more open to feedback, not as controlling. Again, generalizing.
Yeah.
But I mean, if
So I'm thinking I work in like a field where I got all types of fucking bosses, and the best bosses, well, all the bosses are for the men for the majority, but I would tend to agree with her in her, classifications or whatever the fuck of how a good boss should be, and I would say that those are good qualities for a boss to have, because all the dope bosses I have are like understanding, but at the same time assertive as fuck. You know what I'm saying? So.
and I like what she said.
I
how
like
it's
what-
a dance,
I like what
right?
she said.
That's what. Yeah,
Yes.
it's a dance because you have to be assertive, and you have to be strong. But then again, you have to be empathetic and more open, and kind of some of the things that she said. And I had this conversation with you the other day. Being the best thing a leader could ever be is be open enough and be able to receive feedback to constantly get better.
Yeah.
And I guess I don't know if I like the word boss, because I really prefer the word leader over boss.
Yeah.
I strive to be a leader, not a boss.
Yeah, but like bosses are the ones that own everything, right? Or control everything, right? Leader may not necessarily be the one controlling everything. You have a boss that can, delegate and find the best leaders in the group or some shit. But you're a leader and a boss, that's dope as fuck. But most bosses are not leaders. I think those two different things.
Yeah, they get a title, and then they just write that title.
Yeah. Those like there's extremes though. At the end of the day, it's about balance, right? Mm-hmm. Like they're going with this thing of women being more empathetic and emotional, and men tend to be the opposite. But to be a good boss, you have to have balance. So I would tend to agree with their definition of a good boss. I just don't feel like they're putting all of the, what word am I looking for? They're putting like, well, she said like they're the cause of like what a good boss is today, because we're more empathetic and that.
She said that's what a good boss is, because there's more women bosses, and that's what women bosses are.
Yeah, but I mean, I can only speak on my experiences, and like I'm saying, those qualities you said, all the bosses that I respect and I confide in and shit are they have those qualities, and they're not women. So I just feel like it's a balance, like it's a dance. Mm-hmm. Men can do that dance too. Like women can dance with the emotional side, and men can dance with the fucking assertive side, but it's just a dance.
I agree.
No.
It actually makes them great leaders.
Yes.
I also think the fact that women go through so much in life that it actually makes us more empathetic as well. And I definitely think the one thing that I would, people like to say that women can be emotional, right? And I think that sometimes is a stigma that's put on us, that like, they can't do a good job because they're too emotional. I actually completely disagree. And look at everything that women go through in their life. We hold down our emotions pretty damn well. I mean, I was telling
What is she talking about? All these things we go through.
She just was throwing a bunch of generalizations, like she's throwing out a lot of shit, but not giving you any specifics. So we're emotional.
I'm just hearing victim mentality, and I don't like it. Everyone, men go through shit, women go through shit. Like, what, we're gonna cry because we bleed once a month? Like, I don't know. You know how I feel about victim.
this morning, the funniest thing to me is, have you ever, just an example, a man who has cheated on his girlfriend 1,000,000 times with mad women, right?
place, she may be aware of this, right? Then he finds out that she just gave her number to a dude. And yo, they can't handle it. They will lose their whole minds. They will literally be like, I'm gonna kill him.
Well, that's the terrible comparison
And what
to
does
make.
that have to do with being a boss?
Fuck, I know. You talking about
You're strong because we're okay to we put up with men cheating? Like what?
And that's weak to me.
Weak as fuck.
Like,
If you allow
weakness.
your man to fucking cheat and you okay with it, you shouldn't be a boss.
Facts. Like that.
They will lose their whole minds. They will literally be like, I'm gonna kill him. They can't handle it.
I'm gonna take it even further than that. I think the reason why there's a stigma that men cheat more than women, and there is scientific fact also that men are more likely to cheat.
Now they're talking about a whole different topic now.
When a man gets hurt, they will easily go and find another woman to get over it by doing it, right? And it makes their ego feel better. Whereas we go through the stages.
That's a big ass generalization.
I know a whole lot
That's
of
a
women
big
that
ass-
will just go call someone else too.
That's a big ass generalization.
Right? Like what? And what does this have to do with the topic?
I just know they taking this shit all the way left now.
We go through grief. We go through Ben and Jerry's moments, like sitting there.
And not all girls go through that.
Womp, womp.
Womp, womp, womp. They don't know what the fuck they talking about. Well, I don't know. They know what they're talking about. But they're only speaking through their perspectives. You know what I'm saying?
They're not
Like,
articulating their points of why women are better bosses.
yeah, they're not making any valid
Very
points
well.
at all. I could fucking say why women will make better bosses than men, better than they can. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, I would, once a woman has made it to because it takes women a lot harder to get to that status in the first place, just because it's a male dominated, like the tops of fucking every enterprise are male dominated. So if a woman gets to that point, they got to work that much harder. I'm gonna respect them just off jump, just because of that. You know what I'm saying? And then when they can control and be able to speak to men, I'm gonna be able to, I'm gonna respect that. You know what I'm saying? Because I know for a woman to be respected or be on the level playing field as men, they gotta be a fucking killer. So automatically by default, I'm gonna assume that they got that in them. Not because they emotional, not because of all this other bullshit. Like it's a dog-eat-dog world, and men do not want to see a woman on top. So if they over there playing at this level with them, you gotta respect that shit. So I'm looking at it from that point, like she alpha as fuck. She know how to handle herself. This shit ain't bothering her. She's unwavering and all this shit. And at the same time, with that emotional shit will create that balance too, because she had to cut some of that emotion off to get to where she is, but she still got it in her because she's a woman. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
They taking this shit all.
Yeah, they lost both of us at cheating. And
Yeah.
all men cheat and poor us, and we eat Ben and Jerry's, so we're strong.
Nah.
Talking to anybody, and we actually process the emotion.
But
That makes us stronger and ready for the next relationship to have the signs to look out.
It's because patriarchy, but it's really because like we have not had a society that allowed men to actually process emotions.
So now they're talking about all this. I'm about to turn this shit off.
Patriarchy like basically backfired on itself because it didn't let men get to know themselves. It meant that men only had to be providers. They only had to have money, and it's like I feel like now we're seeing a time where men are realizing like, dang, like maybe I can actually get more money if I do get more in my emotions, because women are better bosses because we've had to actually just deal with our emotions. We've actually gotten
One plus one equals 6.
Just because we deal with our emotions, so that makes us better bosses. First of all, you ain't dealt with the emotions based on what the fuck they saying. They all over the place with how they're dealing with their emotions. And people can deal with emotions how the fuck they deal with them. You know
They talking about cause and effect, because this, then that, but it's so left, it doesn't even make sense.
They lost me. I bet like the boss women in this thing watch this shit and probably cringe a little bit. They all fucking, saying celebrity personalities and shit, so they already got like the lights on them. But for the women that were actually like out here fucking moving mountains to get to where the fuck they are, I don't know.
I was just raising my hand.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all are fucking, this is cringy to them. Like, what y'all making us look weak saying shit y'all saying.
And the funny thing is, girls at home like, yeah, girl power. And don't get me wrong, girl fucking power all all day, every day, 20 times on Sunday, but you have to make it make sense.
Fucking right. And this ain't making sense.
Look how crazy she looks.
Learn that process, and it's time for men to start learning that process.
Well, I'm not going to get into men cheating because I've been in enough problems with that.
No, but that's
you
why
can
I'm like,
read the blogs,
this is
but-
about just being a better
As a boss, if you live in the past and you dwell on one of your employees' mistakes like this, and then now every conversation starts with whatever they did wrong, like your employees are going to mess up all the time. And the best way for them to learn is by letting people make mistakes and showing them the right way.
Fucking right.
So if you just dwell in the negative, you're gonna create a terrible work culture. So.
And then the fact that they're sitting here comparing it to relationships is fucking retarded because they're not relatable one bit. You don't, I mean, I guess you build relationships with employees and shit, but at the end of the day, it's your job. Like, you're supposed to be able to cut that shit off. Like, you fucked up, I'm gonna discipline you, whatever the fuck you need, get you to fucking, catch you up on this learning curve, you know what I'm saying? Like, get you right. No, but get you right, you know what I'm saying? If you sitting here holding, you know, grudges against motherfuckers and thinking they gonna do this and do that, you shouldn't be a boss in the first place.
Like, I could personally just like think, and you probably just recently, how many times I've had people that work with me that have made moves that maybe I didn't agree with. And you literally have to let it go, forget about it. If you're gonna choose to keep working with these people, there is no point to ever let that come back. It's gonna do absolutely nothing. Just like if your dude cheated on you and you both decided to work through it and move on and stay together, if you're gonna keep bringing it up, if you're gonna keep letting it bother you, keep whatever, there's just no point.
Yeah. So, womp, womp, womp.
I worked with women, and I can tell you, as an engineer, there are some women, if they're insecure, they make the worst bosses. And that's if they're very insecure, if they're controlling, they feel competitive.
Yeah, so vice versa. If a man is hella insecure, he's gonna be a terrible boss too. What the fuck? Like, if you own anything, you can't be insecure about anything because you're gonna make the wrong fucking decisions.
They're so like men versus women.
It's dynamic.
Why? But it doesn't have to be versus. Like,
if you got boss in you, you fucking boss.
Yeah, so it's not always good. It really depends on the person to me.
Yeah.
And I don't look at a person.
There's great men and great women. It's the human being. If you're a rotten human being, you're gonna be a rotten boss.
She changed it. Now it's a human being. She fucking.
They have groupthink. One person says something, everyone agrees.
Hell yeah.
And then someone else literally might say something opposing to what that person just said.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Like groupthink. Speak up with your own thoughts.
Thanks.
And we also have learned that, I mean, Jesus is like a great example, but the best leaders are followers. No, I'm serious. The best leaders are followers. The best leaders not follow people, but they listen, they're open, they're empathetic. They just want to they want to encourage other people. And when those bosses you're describing, it's almost like a tyrant. It's
leader and the boss, two different things. Two different fucking things. It's dope to have a fucking leader that's a boss, but it's two fucking different things. But a leader, you're right. Leader serves who the fuck they leading. You know what I'm saying? And they're looked up as like the foundation of it all. Like they can hold the burden of everybody's insecurities and all that type of shit. That ain't no fucking boss. Wish bosses were like that. But if you got a boss that's a leader, you winning. But
you're in the right place.
Yeah, most motherfucking bosses out here and entitled and this, that, and the third.
Moved up a corporate ladder.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Now they feel
a
certain way because of that title instead of knowing who they are as a person. And using that title to help other people. And I think in that scenario, if you are more nurturing, if you are more understanding, if you are more open, which are more women-like qualities, then yes, you can be a better boss. But on the other side is, I'll tell you from personal experience, there have been people that have come up to me and said, I am scared to talk to you. You are intimidating. And I'm a woman, so...
But you gotta be like that especially in your shit. But you got to be like that. But I guess it's about like
yeah, but like I mean, that's not a good thing for me. You know, if my people are too scared to come talk to me, then we don't have that open line of communication. That's never a good thing in a leadership position. So, you know, you could be a woman and still be harsh and not be all these things. So
I think that's a dope ass element for a woman to have is when motherfucking they make even men, you know, shaky about approaching them. You know what I'm saying? But it depends on like the career field too. Like you work with a bunch of sharks and shit too, so you got to be like that from the way you move. Or like women, they're like fucking generals in the military, like, you know what I'm saying, like fucking positions where you got to be like that to, you know, to gain somebody respect. If you out here moving like a stereotypical woman and shit, they're not going, you know what I'm saying,
respect you.
Yeah. So I feel like you gotta have, just like you have to have that emotional side of it, the empathetic side of it. You gotta have that motherfucking dog shit too. It's about balance at the end of the day. It's about the fucking person.
All about them, and they're selfish. When you're selfish, you're never going to make a great boss.
The best leaders are willing to serve, and I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
So can we talk about what actually makes a great boss? Because I feel like they didn't really touch on, you know what I'm saying? Like they briefly threw out a couple things here and there.
But then you actually have to. It's on a case by case basis. It depends on the industry. It depends on the type of work you're doing. Like if you a boss and your sole focus is like making money, you can be a fucking asshole. At the end of the day, I just want you to perform and make this bread. You know what I'm saying? Do your fucking job. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then they can delegate other people out there that fucking fluff employees and all that shit. But there's hella positions like that now, and they're successful as fuck because they can get that work out of people. You know what I'm saying? It's probably a harsh environment to work on, but we're talking about a boss. Like a boss is someone that owns something, right? You know what I'm saying? They're the top of the shit. They don't give a fuck about how nobody feels and shit. You want a boss with leadership qualities, but like a lot of these fucking CEOs and all, they don't give a fuck about the boots on the ground.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, it depends on the nature of the job, to me.
I agree. I just think a better topic would be not are women better bosses?
Like, what makes a good boss?
What makes a good boss?
Facts.
What makes a good leader?
Facts.
Did we dive in too far?
Nah. They're talking out their ass. This is just to give views, are women better bosses? That's a triggering fucking question to ask, and everybody gonna be fucking tuned in. They ain't say shit, and everybody wasted their fucking time watching this bullshit. All right. Hope y'all enjoyed that.
Cheers to women bosses.
Yeah, facts. Cheers to dope bosses.
Yep.
And cheers to bosses fucking achieving their goals. But all right. This was our first little it's our pilot program on doing these little shits like this. So let me know how y'all like these things and if we should keep doing them, and then we're gonna play it by ear. All right. Say bye, babe.
Bye.